Hello and welcome in the show, everyone. I am Preston Poole alongside Tyler Adams. This is Unadvised here on the Sports Animal YouTube, Facebook, and our very own X account at Unadvised Pod. Before we get going, T-Bag, how are you doing on this fine Wednesday evening?
I'm doing good. The playoffs are grinding me through the week. I had a long weekend in Tulsa, Preston. I'm still sore. My feet still hurt. I was in a wedding and I owned my own tux at work, but my shoes were different, so I needed to get the shoes. I was like, I don't want to spend $150 on shoes I'm probably going to wear once for the next 10 years. So I got $30 shoes off Amazon, and they worked. They looked great. But they felt like $30 shoes by the night, and my feet are still sore today. But other than that, we're getting through the week. The playoffs are helping tremendously. We wake up and we get a war each and every day, Preston. And in the end, it's either death or glory.
Yeah. The dress shoes are never like comfortable to wear for a long time anyways.
No, especially cheap ones.
Hell, even the expensive ones, I don't think either. But I'm doing good. Yeah, the playoffs, we're going to get into that. We've had a couple of great games here in Oklahoma City. I say great, some blowouts here in Oklahoma City. Great if you're a Thunder fan. And then we've got a couple games going on right now. Boston taking on the Magic right now in Boston. Celtics are up 45 to 37, about 3 minutes until half. I'll have to pull up the other score right now. I believe Cleveland is playing at the moment as well too. We're gonna get into the NFL draft, which first round is tomorrow. We'll see what T-Bag thinks his Bears might need in this upcoming draft, and we'll get into a couple of the top players, or at least the top names, if you will, in the NFL draft as well. Yeah, the Heat actually up on the Cavaliers right now towards the end of the first quarter. So 21-17 Heat at the moment. Let's go ahead and get into the NBA playoffs. The Oklahoma City Thunder, will start with them as they were the best team in the regular season. They're our hometown team here in Oklahoma City. They take a 2-0 lead over the Memphis Grizzlies. They head to Memphis. I'm assuming they're already there at this point. They play tomorrow evening at 8:30 on TNT. T-Bag, you were in the building last night. I'm assuming you watched the ass kicking on Sunday as well. What have your thoughts been so far through 2 games of this first round for the Thunder?
Bless Memphis's heart. First and foremost, they're trying it maybe. I mean,
they didn't try in that first game. I'll tell you that.
But they showed up and they did it. So that's all I have to say for them on Sunday. Valiant effort last night. But too much Preston for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't want to say I'm just ready to move on. I want to enjoy the ride, but I will say this: I'm glad they're going on the road, because as much fun as Thunder home games are, and how much aura Paycom Center has, I'm ready to get maybe just a little bit more of a challenge playing on the road, because it's been ass whooping.
A week ago, we were ready for the playoffs to start. Now it's like, when did the second round start?
That's what I'm saying. We're getting too greedy, and we're on to game 3. We're stacking days, as Coach says. But the Thunder, I mean, J-Dub stepping up, Chet stepping up, Ben Caruso. Holy crap! I'm sure we can talk about him.
He was great
for an
last
hour
night,
coming up. All that said, Shea still hasn't found his shot. He's not playing bad. He's doing everything else great. He's getting the shot he wants. It's just not going in the hoop. And like you said last night, that's just basketball sometimes. It'll come. And when that happens and the rest of the guys keep doing what they're doing, I mean, playing the parade.
Yeah, no, 100%. Shea, I mean, did not play good. It had his worst game probably in like the last year or two on Sunday. He scored 27 last night. So
10 of 29 though.
Yeah,
which is not like him.
No, not at all. Yeah, the mid range for him doesn't seem to be going at the moment, and I could see why people get worried out there. But then again, I would say the dude's going to be the MVP here in a couple of weeks. So,
are we really worried about Shea finding his shot eventually? Like,
even Aaron Wiggins after Sunday said, "We're not worried about Shea," and I concur. I agree with him. No one should be worried about Shea as long as you have guys like you said, like Chet, J-Dub, and then Jesus, Alex Caruso just was balling yesterday. It was crazy. But as long as those guys are playing the best that they can, then that bodes well for the Thunder going forward.
The loudest the arena got last night, Preston, was whenever Alex Caruso got that jump ball on Triple J.
Yeah.
Because I was at like the fourth possession in a row where he was just an absolute menace to the Memphis Grizzlies. And I mean, that place is standing ovation for Alex Caruso. I mean, it was nuts. He's the best. Like he's the best player to root for in the NBA, especially if you're a white guy, because you're like, look at, he's a bald white guy that does not look athletic at all. I mean, he's very fit and toned, but he just doesn't look athletic. And then he just goes out there and he's like, who's your best player? All right, I'm going to lock him down.
Yeah, I mean, if you're walking down the street outside of him being just a tall human being because he's a basketball player, you'd be like, yeah, this guy probably is like a plumber.
He's an accountant. He looks like an accountant.
Yeah, so he played great. I mean, Sunday he didn't even score a basket, and he was still a plus 30 in the plus minus, which is just insane. So shout out Alex Caruso. He's been playing great. I thought Wiggins played great in game one. I didn't really get as much time last night because the game was, a lot closer. Well, I say closer.
He played great in those 7 minutes. I mean, Kim got six quick points for some momentum when they needed it.
Yeah, got a crazy and one on the steal that he had that he tipped to himself. Ran down the court and got an and one that seemed like it sat on the rim for like 10 seconds and then finally fell in. So he's playing great. Isaiah Joe hitting shots outside of everyone for the Thunder in the second half last night. Just couldn't shoot a three to save their lives. I think they only made like 1 3 in the second half or something like that. After they set a Thunder playoff record with 12 threes in the first half, they couldn't make anything from beyond the arc in the second half. So it's a team that you can tell is ready to go. They're energized. That week off that they had, I think, really gave them a lot of energy. Obviously, they're young, so just like you said, just keep stacking the days. And what now? They need 14 more wins 14. To win the title. So, just amazing stuff, and can't wait till tomorrow night.
It kind of goes to show just like how this is I would say this is the most boring series of all the series. Not for us, obviously, but from if you're just an average NBA fan. And I think it goes to show that the 8.5 minutes into the show, I think we've kind of covered everything we need to cover. It's just like, it's an ass whooping. Like, well, it's really just a question now if is it going to be 4 or 5 games.
It's crazy to me that now, like I'm addicted to TikTok, so I'm on TikTok like all the time. Yeah. You see all these people reacting to that 50-point beatdown on Sunday and then the game last night, and they're finally starting to realize, damn, these guys are actually a good basketball team.
Yeah.
Since we didn't watch them all year and we just made assumptions all season long, they're actually a very good basketball team.
Another thing is I don't know if I'll just try to find this. I can find. I know where it is. I don't know if I'll be able to show it on the screen. But the whistle's been very tight in the playoffs, so far, all around the league too. And the whistle just been very tight, and Shea, hasn't benefited from 3 free throws. And so a lot of haters, are trying to have a field day with that one. So there's a good meme. So it's this,
Yeah.
And then the caption says, you can't read it, but the caption says, what is Shea going to do if they aren't calling fouls? And then it goes to this. The Undertaker.
Yeah.
And it says, what is the Thunder defense going to do if they aren't calling fouls?
Yes. Yeah. No, that defense has. Right, I mean, I've watched a lot of basketball the last handful of years. Right. This is one of the best defenses I've ever seen in the NBA. So they literally just, it's like a boa constrictor. They just constrict the life out of Memphis. They have been the last couple of days. In Memphis, I know they have some guys hurt that are key guys for them. But Zach Edey is Sam Humphrey said it the other day. He's a traffic cone, and he couldn't be more right. That dude is a traffic cone. Anyone can get around him. He's not that good.
He's slow.
He's so slow.
Heavy. He seems just heavy. His feet, it seems like he has bricks.
Exactly. And I remember back to the draft last year, a lot of Thunder fans saying, why don't we go out and get Zach Edey? This is why you don't go out and get Zach Edey, because
it's just because he was tall and can rebound. It's like, no, there's way more that goes into this.
Yes, like he benefited very much from the whistle in college. He's not going to get that in the NBA, especially if he keeps playing the way that he is, right? He's a rookie this year. And unless he just gets exponentially better and faster and can move around a lot better, he's not going to get that in the NBA. So, and then Ja was terrible Sunday, played a lot better last night. Same with Jaren Jackson Jr., who I think only had 2 or 3 points in game one. Came out, I think he had close to 30 last night for the Grizzlies. So, but a lot of fouls. I mean, he fouls so much, Jaren Jackson Jr. does, and for no reason sometimes. So, yep. That's about all I got on this series, because like you said, it has been a snooze fest. So
it's really just a matter if it's 4 or 5 games at this point. So
at one point, what it looked like that Memphis was going to try and come back last night, I think they cut it within like 8, and then the Thunder went on like a 6-0 run to get the lead back up, and then just never let Memphis get close after that. So it's just been all Thunder so far.
Which, being in the arena last night, I was kind of glad that it got close there for a second, because it made it, it made it fun. It made it like, the crowd get back into it, which is awesome.
No, 100%. I'm with, because on Sunday it kind of felt like, while the crowd was still like in it, everyone realized like, all right, this is 50 points. There's no way that they're coming back.
That one was over from the first round.
Yeah, especially it being Eastern, all that stuff last Sunday too. So I'm sure a lot of people were like, well, it's 50 at halftime. I think we can just go ahead and get out of here. So all right, how about the other series going on in the Western Conference? The 2-seed Rockets taking on the 7-seed Warriors. The Warriors win game one in that one. They play again tonight, I believe, at 8:30. I'm not surprised the Warriors got game one.
No, not at all. Yeah. Also, we can talk more about the game in a second. This is a side note, a complaint on my half, and I feel this every year during the playoffs. It sucks that the Western Conference, they get the late tip times. Like, obviously it makes sense because of time zones, but it just sucks because outside of really the Knicks versus Pistons, unless the Bucks can find a way, which we'll talk about that in a second. I don't think they're going to. Outside the Knicks versus Pistons, the Eastern playoffs right now is just a yawn. And then all the good Western playoff games are just starting at 8:30 and 9 o'clock every night. And it sucks. So I wasn't able to stay up. I watched the first quarter and a half maybe, and it was a very delusional watch on my behalf. So I really didn't get to watch much of the game. I'll try to watch as much as I can tonight, but I mean I do have a 4:30 alarm clock, so I don't know how much I'm gonna watch unless it's just I got to stay up and watch it. But yeah, just a side note complaint that I feel every year it's like this sucks. No, Thunder games I'll stay up till 3 a.m. if I have to.
I can tell you that Steph Curry was making some just absolutely ridiculous shots.
I saw the highlight package.
Yeah, the one where he just like has the guy like on him, very good defense, and he just turns around and jacks up a 3 without even looking at the rim. I was like, there's one guy in the league that can make that shot, and his name is Steph Curry. So Curry had 31. Jimmy Butler had 25 for the Warriors, and then for the Rockets, you had Alperen Şengün at 26, and no one else really did much for the Rockets. And the Warriors won 95-85. And again, they play tonight in Houston. By the way, the Rockets are favored in that game. I need to go back and figure out what that was. They're 4.5-point favorites in that game after losing by 10. So
I mean, it could very well be a Warriors. I mean, they're so veteran laced and experienced, and they have that championship DNA in that organization, obviously. So that really could just be like one of those things where obviously the Warriors aren't going to go out there and try to lose, but they might go out there and play a step back because like, all right, we did what we needed to do. We won game one. Now let's maybe preserve some energy because we are old and back to the Bay and try to get a 3-1 lead there. So that it could be a case of that, but. Again, it's the playoffs. They're not going to come out and just be like, all right, we're going to lose tonight. But there is that human element and strategy to all of it as well.
I still think the Warriors win this series as well. I mean, I just don't like the Rockets.
Yeah, I got them in 7. I got the Warriors at
Yeah,
7. I'll stick to that for now. We were 1 game
yeah,
in.
yeah. Well, we'll see again. They play at 8:30 tonight, game 2.
Yeah.
So we will see. Right now at halftime, just update you on some scores going on right now. If you're not having a chance to watch, Celtics up 3 at the break over the Magic, 50-47. Then about 9.5 minutes left in the second quarter. The Cavaliers up 39-30 on the Heat. Derek on Facebook says, "Do y'all remember when ESPN and others were saying Ja was better than SGA?" Yeah, look, and that was a couple years ago, and I understand why they said that is because Ja was a lot better than SGA
Yeah,
at that
he was
moment.
a 2 seed 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And SGA was on a struggling Thunder team at that point. Now, and look, you could sit down and you could put Jim Traber's truth serum in Sam Presti, and I think Sam Presti would even say, "Yeah, we thought he was going to be good, but we didn't think SGA was going to be this good." Right? I mean that's kind of the way that I look at it.
Sorry, I can tell I'm lagging here. Uh, okay, sorry. My computer was spinning out on me there for a
You're
second,
good.
so
You're good.
it got me worried. I don't even think you need to put the true serum in Sam Presti for you to say
Yeah.
that. For him to say that, I think you'd be like, yeah, I thought Shea could be, had all-star potential and stuff, but I think superstar potential,
Yeah.
kind of thing, like probably not. I think Shea would tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean, he always believed in himself. If he would have told Shea,
That's who
when
you
he
might have to
when
put the truth serum in is Shea to get
yeah,
that out
yeah.
of them.
I mean, if you would have told Shea when he was a freshman at Kentucky, like, hey, in 7 years, you're going to be like the best player on a historic team and the clear MVP in the league and have one of the best guard seasons of all time, he'd probably be like, huh,
Okay.
okay, yeah,
Yeah. So, Shea Ja was better than Shea at that moment, but I do think Shea is better than Ja at this moment. So,
not even
uh,
close.
yeah. Other series, let's see. The number 3 Lakers and the 6 seed Timberwolves tied at 1 apiece in that series. Timberwolves went out, they shot like 50% in game 1. I think they came out and shot like 20 something percent last night. The Lakers get a win in that one. This is a 7-game series. Like, people can say, "Oh no, the Lakers are going to turn it on." No, this is going to be a 7-game series.
It reminds me so far of what we've seen of the Nuggets versus Timberwolves last year in the second
Yeah.
round, where every game, the first 6 games were just blowouts by one team. And game 7 was just like one of the best basketball
Everyone
games ever.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how I can see this series going because we got 2 blowouts already, and I can kind of just see back and forth of a couple blowouts, and then we get just an awesome game 7.
No, I'm with you on that. I really hope that one goes 7 for sure. They play again. I'm assuming on Thursday. No, they would play Friday. Is when the Lakers.
Oh,
And
they're
the
giving
Timberwolves
LeBron
play.
all the rest he can get.
Yeah, they got the 8:30 game on ESPN.
Yeah, they
on
got
Friday.
Saturday, Tuesday, Friday already.
Yeah,
and then the Thunder are literally just every other day,
Hey,
which is
that's
fine for the sweet. But
get it over with in 4, and then you get a couple extra days
yeah,
off.
yeah,
if you're the
yeah.
Thunder.
But you knew the NBA was going to let LeBron get as
Yeah.
much rest as he possibly could
Oh,
throughout
100%.
the playoffs.
The 4 seed Nuggets taking on the 5 seed Clippers. That one's also tied at 1 apiece. This so far has been the best series in the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, Kawhi, what he did, that wasn't last night. It was the night before, right? Am I remembering correct?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Kawhi was just awesome. I mean, that's the best Kawhi has played in 2 years, maybe 3 years. Whenever he was, back fully healthy. I mean, he was great in game 2 in that series.
He's all the way back. I mean, I've said at the start of the playoffs, the Clippers scare me. Now watching the Thunder in the first 2 games of the playoffs, they don't scare me as much. I know, we can't take 2 games against the Grizzlies as a sample size. And I don't fear anybody. I don't fear anybody. I think the Thunder are going to, win every series in the West. And once you get to the finals, whatever happens, happens. But I mean, I don't fear anybody in the West. But I mean, the Clippers are going to be, if they win this series, it's going to be a tough second round. Kawhi is playing great. Their role players are playing good. Harden so far is playing good. I mean, now we know what it's like for game 6 and 7. Harden, usually doesn't step up as if history would tell you ever since he left the Thunder. Now he's had some moments here and there, but because I mean, if you remember that game 5 against San Antonio in 2012, I mean, Harden was a guy that stepped up in the fourth quarter, bring it to game 6
Yeah.
in OKC.
He didn't know any better at that point. It might be
Yeah. So we'll see, but yeah, I think this is another. I think this is a 7-game series. It's going to be the opposite of Clippers Minnesota that we both think is also a 7-game series, where every game is going to be a rock fight. And sign me up for that, because the Thunder get the winner of this round. So sign me up for 7 games of a dogfight. Add another overtime or 2 in there. Just let them hash this thing out. I'm rooting for Denver because Jokic, yes, he scares me. I mean, he's going to get his own. Nothing he can do. I mean, hell, he can go for 40 points every game. All you have to do is stop Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. after that, which I think Alex Caruso could probably do just by himself, let alone you add Dub, Dort, Kaysen in there.
And even Chet, who played great last night.
Yeah. So the Denver, I would really like the Thunder's chances. Clippers, I like the Thunder's chances, but I think it's going to be more of a tough series. So I'm rooting for Denver. But, yeah, this series has been awesome. It's going to be a fight to the bitter end in this one.
No, I'm with you 100%. Derek says, would you guys want OKC matchup against Denver or the Clippers in round 2? I say it doesn't really matter to me. I think the Thunder can beat both of those teams.
I'm really nitpicking when I say I want Denver. It's like, yeah, you're right. It's like Denver. I think the Thunder could win in a fairly easy 5 or 6. Like Denver will get a game. Clippers, it's like a little bit tougher 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's like, oh, it might be a little bit more physical. It might be
a
little bit more
you even look at it like Zubac for the Clippers has played great against every other team, but when they play the Thunder, like you just can't play him, right? Yeah. Because the Thunder are going to go small and just run past them.
Right past them.
Yeah, which they've been doing to Zach Edey for the last 2 games. So, all right, that's the Western Conference. The East, we'll probably just blow through this because the East has been rather boring.
And to be honest, I watched one game in the East, and it was game 2 of Knicks Pistons.
Cavs taking on the Heat. Cavs.
I watched that one. I did watch that one.
I didn't watch it.
I watched the first 3 quarters because it was fairly close. Miami was just hanging around. So I was just seeing if they could do it in the fourth quarter. Then 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, it was like a start the Thunder had last night in the fourth quarter, and I was like, yeah, that one's over.
Yeah. I mean, right now, getting close to halftime, the Cavs are already up 50-34 on the Heat. So
yeah, that one's already
that's kind of, the Cavs are going to win that one and move on. The 2-seed Celtics and the 7-seed Magic. Celtics lead 1-0. That one's at halftime right now, 50-47. And that one for the Celtics. Again, this is going to be a sweep. Just the Magic, I don't think, have the guys to keep up with the Celtics. I said the other day that the only way the Magic win a game is if the Celtics shoot 100 threes and only make like 20 of them in a game or something like that. But yeah, just Celtics are too good.
The Magic are really fun if you just have your eyes on Franz Wagner or Paulo Banchero.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it's not very fun. But if you want to watch those 2 guys, they're pretty good.
Yeah,
everyone else though is not a team that's just built for playoff basketball.
Yeah. And then we'll skip the 3-6 real quick because that is actually a series I'm interested in. We'll talk about the 4-5, the Pacers and the Bucks. Pacers lead that one 2-0. Dame comes back last night. Didn't matter. Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers take a 2-game lead. That there was people were making fun of Tyrese Halliburton from hiding behind the ref while talking crap to Damian Lillard last night, doing the Dame time celebration as well. So that's going to be a fun series because you can just tell that those guys don't like each other. There was a bench clearing brawl, not a brawl, a bench clearing face off last night in that game as well. I thought that would be like my most fun series of this playoffs. And to me, it's lived up to the hype because I really like Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers. And I don't care for Damian Lillard at all.
Yeah, the Pacers are fun to watch. Pacers have been fun to watch since last year. I remember watching them during that NBA Cup run they made.
Their offense, they just go so fast up and down the court.
So fast. And they can score. I mean, they really are a really fun team to watch. I would say I probably watched Now, I mean, I'll be the first to tell you, I watch 78 out of 82 Thunder games. Now, obviously, you
Yeah.
miss a couple here and there. And then I'd probably watch 1.5, or I'd say 2 to 2.5 NBA games a week outside of that. If the Pacers are on national television, I make sure to watch them. Like, I probably watched more Pacers basketball outside of any team in the last year. So I just find myself just really rooting for them. I like Indiana. Indianapolis reminds me a lot of Oklahoma City. And just like, the small market, Midwest culture kind of thing. But yeah, they don't like each other, and the Bucks are just. It might be time to just blow that thing up. You got your championship, man. Like, you just got. Sometimes I think, and it's easier said than done. I get it, but when you're a small market and you have a guy like this in his prime, and you see it's not going anywhere. If you want to get back to this point, you got to trade for capital.
Yeah.
And right now, I think the Bucks just need to look in the mirror and say, you know what, we got our championship. Probably not going to get another one with Giannis. Giannis is still a top 5 NBA player. Let's go trade him and Dame and get the barn in return and just try to build it back up to where we can have a fun team for another, 10 years like they've had. They've had a great run. They've had an awesome run.
Well,
and I get Giannis is still in his prime, but I think it's time. And I think it'd be the smart thing to do if you're them.
There's only one person to blame in this whole entire thing, too, and it's Giannis, because he wanted Drew Holiday out, and he wanted Damian Lillard to come in, and Drew Holiday was a big part of that team winning the title. Obviously they have that revolving door at coach. What was that?
And they've been screwed with injuries too. They've been screwed with injuries too.
Yeah, Giannis has been hurt.
Giannis has only played, I think, one series, or not even one series. I think 2 or 3 playoff games since they've won the championship. So they've been really screwed with injuries. But like I said, you got your championship. Like, you won the championship. There's not much more you can ask for at the end of the day.
No, 100%. All right, the 3 seed Knicks taking on the 6 seed Pistons, tied at 1 apiece. How about them Pistons, man? Cade Cunningham getting it done last night against the Knicks, or the other night, whenever that was.
The dog. I just love seeing Cade do this, because I just remember in college, and this is just Twitter and sports fans, but I just remember watching Cade Cunningham in college, and I love Mike Boyd, and he's a great guy. I got to meet him a few times when I was at school in Stillwater. I used to clean his car, Preston. I don't know if you knew this about me. In college, my college job was car detail. I was a car detailer. Like, I worked for a company that detailed cars, and Mike Boyd was a big client of ours. So I got to. I mean, we weren't buddy, but we got to a point where we're really cool with each other. He was always super nice, and he always tipped me $300. So
there you go.
He had my love with love, and he had my love with money. So I love Mike Boyd to death. Not basketball team was really disappointing a lot of times while he was there. And I watched Cade Cunningham take that team to a 4 seed. Now they had a good team around him, but there was a lot of times where OSU does not win that game without Cade Cunningham just saying, everyone move away and let me do my damn thing. And there's still some haters. There's still some haters out there. And now it's just one of those things. Watching him go into the Garden, Preston, genuinely made me really happy to see him win. Like, that's a big playoff win to get in your first go around. To win in the Garden in a tight game in game 2, it must win. It was awesome. I was so happy for Cade.
It always cracks me up after these games too, seeing all the Knicks fans outside the Garden with because it's just a massive fan meetup, social media off who can get the best clip of the night outside of Madison Square Garden. It just cracks me up to see when guy like Trae Young a couple years ago, right? Whenever they
still hit him. Did you see him say that? They had an F Trae Young chant going on.
Yeah, just to see stuff like that. So I'm glad Cade could get in there and get a win. That's going to be a great, probably the best series in the Eastern Conference.
I really hope the Pistons, try to take advantage of this window they have before Cade, gets a super max, in 3 or 4 years. Just try to take advantage and sign players, trade for players. Just try to get chips all in and go now.
And that's the thing is in our childhood growing up, the Pistons were good. What, 2 years? Like when they won the title in the early 2000s and went back again. Outside of that, they've been not good at all.
Do
So
you,
it's good to see them, be back in the playoffs and all that.
you might have seen this stat already, but do you know how many playoff wins the Pistons have had since the Thunder have moved to Oklahoma City?
I don't think any. One.
The other night. That was the first.
Okay.
The last time the Pistons won a playoff game, the Seattle Supersonics still existed.
Yeah, I don't.
That's crazy.
And R.I.P. the Pope. I don't think they even won a playoff game under Pope Francis. So, by the way, I'm not.
Actually, that's actually a great sports stat to have. Like, did you achieve X under Pope Francis? And if you did it was a 12-year run.
Yeah. I'm not Catholic, but I'm on Pope Watch 2025. I find that very interesting.
Speaking of TikTok, my TikTok is just full of the Pope stuff, and I'm learning so much about it. I'm becoming an expert.
Yeah, I'm literally.
I need to watch Conclave. I need to watch Conclave this week.
You did? I
need to.
I'm gonna watch. Maybe our next episode we can have a Conclave
review.
Review.
All right, then weekend duty, Preston. Weekend duty for both of us. We have to watch Conclave, and then we can do a show Sunday if you're free. If not, later on the week we can do a review. Let's do that.
I'll watch Conclave either Thursday or
Friday. Because I'm with you. I'm on Pope Watch heavy right now.
Yeah. So we'll have a Conclave review. Supposed to be one of the best movies.
I've heard it's great.
So. All right, let's go ahead. Anything else on the NBA playoffs before I've got a couple of things on the NFL draft I want to get to.
No, I think we've got it all.
All right, so the NFL draft first round is tomorrow in Green Bay. By the way, I don't like this moving the draft around. I thought it was perfect in New York City where they had been having it. I think if you want to travel to the draft, you're a nut anyways. Just watch it on TV because it's not that important. But either way, it's going to be in Green Bay, Wisconsin tomorrow. And it looks like the Titans will be taking Cam Ward with the first overall pick. This is not surprising. I mean, the Titans have a lot of issues they need to fix, quarterback being one of them. So, why not take what you think the best quarterback is, number one overall, if you're the Titans?
Yeah, I mean, I would do it if I were them. I mean, if you have the number one pick and you think your guys there, you just got to take it. And if I'll never blame it. I'll never blame the team for trying. If Cam Ward doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. I'm not going to blame the Titans for drafting him. It's like, no. You thought,
and if he doesn't work out, we'll probably have the number one pick in a couple of years anyways, right?
Yeah, you'll be back in the top 5 for sure. Yeah. And there's a lot of quarterbacks that go in the top 5. So, I mean, if you're the Titans, just go for it. And I think this was written in stone since he called Treylon Burks one of the best wide receivers in the league.
Yeah. Well,
that's whenever you're like, yeah, that guy's a Titan.
Yeah, trying to get the job. Yeah, 100%. We'll see. I'm not really too high on any of the quarterbacks this year. If you are going to take one, I think it's got to be Cam Ward. So we'll see how all that shakes out. The other thing I only have a couple of things because I'm not too. This draft class,
I think it
doesn't do it for me.
This draft class, on top of we're just so bought in on the Thunder right now.
Yeah,
football is such a.
It's so distant in my mind right now.
In my mind, because OSU is crushing the portal right now.
Yeah.
It's I'm oh, they might have a little decent squad next year. I should get excited, but I don't care. I don't care right now about OSU or the Bears and what they do in the fall. There's one mission in mind right now. That's all.
Yeah, we're on a title run right now. So.
Yeah.
I hope Cleveland trades down, and I do not want them to take Travis Hunter.
I do want to say, with that said, the second July 1st hits, I'm not going to say the second the Thunder season's over because I will have a time to mourn.
Yeah.
The second July 1st hits, or 4th of July weekend, so bought into college football and NFL. I do want to say I will buy myself back in.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm not.
Well, at that point, we'll be a couple of weeks away from, I know, SEC Media Days. I don't know if the Big 12 has announced their Media Days yet, but SEC Media Days is down in, I believe, Dallas again, right? I can't remember if it's in Dallas again or not.
I have no idea.
About the middle of July. I know they just released that the other day. So, anyways, back to the NFL.
The Browns, sorry.
Yes. I hope they trade down because I don't want to see Travis Hunter go to Cleveland and just rot there for a couple of years before he eventually gets traded or leaves in free agency.
Yeah. Is he going to play wide receiver or cornerback? I still don't know. Have you seen anything?
I think that they're going to try and at least try and play him both ways. I
Yeah,
think he's a better cornerback for sure.
I do too.
But I think that he's going to at least try to play both ways in the NFL.
I think he will play both ways. It's just he's not going to be able to do it like he was doing it.
No, yeah,
there's one going to be primary.
Yeah,
like that's where he's going to play that position primarily.
Although I could see it being a little, and this is going to sound really dumb, so I apologize. But I do see it kind of being a little bit easier in the NFL to play both ways. I know they hit harder. I understand that, but these offenses aren't
as fast.
Yeah, it's not as fast paced as what the college game is, right?
Less plays, isn't there?
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see, but I think his best opportunity is on the defensive side of the ball.
You make a fair. I haven't really thought about that. It's like the game itself is tougher, but you are running less plays. You're not exerting as much energy in as fast as time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We'll see it, but I don't want him to go to Cleveland.
No, they just need to take Abdul Card and just have a nasty D line and live off that.
Take the Cleveland Browns and send them to the moon.
Or a nasty edge
is what I would like. Yeah.
I guess Abdul's a linebacker, but
yeah.
Oh my gosh, you had him and Garrett coming off both ends.
That would be scary. Yes.
They win 5 games with that, and that's it. They'd be 5-12.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're probably only going to win 3 or 4 anyways with their current roster. So last point I have on the draft, Shedeur Sanders. I think this guy is due for a big drop in the draft. For what months it's like, well, are the Giants going to take him with a 3 pick or 4 pick, whatever pick they have? I can't even remember. That's how far out the NFL draft is in my brain right now. But then this information comes out yesterday from Tom Pelissero, T-Bag. I don't know if you saw it.
I've seen it. And I have a thought.
The worst formal interview I've ever been a part, and this is an NFL assistant on Shedeur Sanders via Tom Pelissero of NFL Network. The worst formal interview I've ever been a part of in my life. He's so entitled. He takes unnecessary sacks. He never plays on time. He has horrible body language. He blames teammates. But the biggest thing is he's not that good. Your thoughts?
I don't disagree. I mean, I know it's unfair to always say this.
And the thing is, we can all see it too. We can see everything on this.
He presents
by the way he
off this way.
Yeah.
I do think he is a really good quarterback. I do think what Deion is doing at Colorado is working. And I do think Deion is going to have a success doing it the Deion way. I don't mind Deion like I used to.
Yeah.
But with Shedeur Sanders, you can see that is an entitled kid who thinks everything's given to him. And I can see him walking into an interview with an NFL organization who owes him absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And him acting like he's running the show. I can absolutely see how that was an awful interview. And what do we always hear about? We always heard this about with Cam Newton. Every time you hear, scouts leak something, it usually turns out, or executives, it usually turns out to be true eventually.
The difference is Cam Newton was a baller and, really good in college. Shedeur Sanders was just an average college football player. Let's be completely honest.
Yeah. And Cam was always going to go number 1 and stuff. I'm just saying, there's execs where I was like, I mean, I would take him, but I mean, that's an interesting cat right there kind of thing. I mean, every time you just kind of hear this, Josh Rosen was another one. It's like a lot of execs were like, I feel like, and he dropped, and he's like, I just feel like he doesn't care because he's a rich kid who knows no matter what, he's going to be rich.
Yeah.
So I usually when this happens, if an exec leaks it out, they're probably onto something. And like you said, we can all see it.
Yeah. I think he's going to drop somewhere to mid to late round, first round. I still think he's going to be a first round pick, but it's going to be later in the draft. I think in the first round. So I've never thought Shedeur was some great NFL prospect. I thought he was a fine college football player. He did get sacked too many times, but that also I thought at more times than not it was because his offensive line was just terrible at Colorado. Now they got better in year 2 at Colorado, and he still took a bunch of sacks. So we'll see. We'll see.
What do you think he drops to?
I've been seeing a lot of like 19, 20-ish somewhere
Oh, I
in
was gonna
there.
say like in the 12 to 15.
No,
Wow.
yeah, I've been seeing so I saw one mock draft where the Giants traded back up to 19 to draft him. So I got to assume that. I mean, Pittsburgh's been a name that's been thrown around for him. They draft what 21 or something like that.
Pittsburgh
So
would be a place where like
yeah,
they can make it work, I
like
think.
Mike Tomlin could, hopefully get that kid,
It's just
on a
Mike
straight.
Tomlin's offense is stale at this point.
It's
That's the
boring
only
to watch.
issue. Yeah, that's the only issue.
So we'll see tomorrow where Shadur ends up going. Um, by the way, his dad Dion the other day saying, they retired his jersey number at Colorado, and Dion comes out and says, if his name was anything else other than Sanders, this wouldn't be happening. And
No,
I think everyone like stepped back and like, yeah, Dion, that's the point we're all trying to make, is that it's because he's your son, and you just went ahead and said, all right, we'll retire his number.
he wouldn't get his number retired.
Yeah.
Like Travis Hunter makes all the sense. Number two, you got to do a jersey. You got to do a jersey retirement, like either when he's retired from the NFL or he has a bye week and you guys have a home game and he can fly in for the weekend.
Not like
and
the
you can
spring
celebrate
game
him
before he gets drafted. Yeah.
in front of 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Let it do it in front of a full stadium. Let him have a whole weekend to himself about it. So bad jersey retirement, number one. But yeah, Travis Hunter, retire that jersey. Won you a Heisman at Colorado. That's awesome. I mean, are we just going to start retiring quarterback numbers because they're, a first round draft pick? Like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me?
And he went 13-12 or 12-13, one of those two for Colorado. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, let's retire that guy when they have other guys from like the 90s, which I don't even remember all their names because I wasn't even really, born at that time. So I didn't get to watch Colorado in the early 90s. Guys like that don't even have their jerseys retired when Colorado was like, competing for national championships back in the day. So, yeah, it was a little mind blowing the other day when I saw that.
That's nuts. Yeah.
All right, you got anything else before we wrap this thing up?
I think we got it.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us. We'll be back Sunday. We'll figure out a time, but we'll do a conclave review. Maybe we'll give out our top 3 picks for Pope 2025. Again, I'm not Catholic, but this thing just fascinates me. So I've been like you, watching all the TikToks and all the stuff on social media. So we'll do that. We'll talk about the Thunder as well, because they'll have another 2 games again tomorrow night, and then could be talking about a second round matchup. Who could that be? Because they could sweep come Saturday. By the way, I saw a lot of Thunder fans might be making the 6.5 hour drive to Memphis.
Spinozzi is supposedly going to be making it.
I saw that a lot of people were saying tickets were about $15-20 to get in the building on Saturday. So I think there should be a decent amount of Thunder fans in the building for that one.
Awesome.
So
yeah, it'd be a good trip to go on.
Yeah.
I mean, you and some of your buddies leave Friday, come back Sunday. 6.5
Although
hours.
once you get past about Little Rock, it's the most boring spot on earth.
And it's also like not like I've seen like you and your buddies, like you guys are going, you're going out to like New Orleans or Vegas for the weekends. Like it is.
Have some fun on Beale Street there in Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis is also a little dangerous, I think.
Yeah. I think we can agree on that. All right. We'll be back on Sunday. You guys have a good one. Enjoy the basketball. Until then, see you.